Hi everyone, I'm Nick. I'm the guy behind Caster and Camber. You joined me on a Friday night, doing about a 120-mile drive from where I live to my partner's place. I just thought I'd give you, talk to you guys about what the plans are for 2022. Fuck 2021 was shit. But it had its good sides, had its bad sides as well. We've got some plans for this year for what we want to do. Gonna finish the bike. That's one of the main ones. It's been 5 years, so it's about time. So we've got that. It doesn't need a lot, to be honest. The 500T, just a day boogie. It's mainly just setup. I think a couple of weeks ago I changed the fuel in it because a friend of mine had put some E10 in it and it sat there for a long time and I don't think it did the carbs any good. So I'm going to pull them off, rebuild them again. Is what it is. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to put it all back together. I'm going to see about having a electronic ignition put into it, as well as like an electronic starter, because at the moment it's kickstart only. Got that's going to get done because I want to do some of the Malay events this year. So I'd like to do the mile and the beach race. I'd like to do the rally, but I don't have my license, and at the moment there's such a massive wait to even start the process of getting a license. So there's that. There's some other bits and pieces that I'd like to do, but I just don't think I'll ever get around to doing on it. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Other bits and pieces that we're going to do with it, there's some other kind of cool motorbike stuff, like motorbike events that I kind of want to go to, sort of without the bike. I want to go to a couple of rounds of the Dirt Track Racing Association, the DTRA rounds, and sort of do a couple of those. There's one near me, which is Kings Lynn. Peterborough's not that far away either. It's a big round. I want to go to those and sort of check them out and go and hang out with some people and meet some new people. So I want to do that. The Beetle, that thing. I've kind of decided, I've had some quotes from places to have all the metalwork done and that kind of stuff, and they vary wildly from like $5,000 to like 30 grand. And just to let you in on a secret, I don't have £30,000. At the end of the month, I'm lucky if I have 30. But is what it is. So there's that. I'm even sort of toying with the idea myself. It's probably going to be about £400 in panels and sort of bits and pieces from Heritage Parts. So I might order those, and then I can get a MIG gas welder for like 250 quid off Amazon. So I might do that for my birthday next month. I might order one of those and sort of teach myself how to weld. I've wanted to. I can weld, but as Mike Finnegan will say, it looks like Stevie Wonder did it with his feet. So I'd like to learn how to do that properly. I've got some friends who are really good welders who said they'll help me. I just got to find somewhere to do it. I don't have any indoor storage for the Beetle, which is really, really frustrating, like at this point in time. I would like to find a workshop if I can afford it, but the ones that are all around me are really difficult to try and find a workshop. But it's on the cards. I'm keeping a lookout for things. And then it's really a case of painting it, and it's the bodywork and the metalwork and stuff. I don't mind having to go with that. The one thing I can't do is I can't paint. I can't paint properly. It really needs to go into a booth and be done properly. that kind of thing. So I might save the money on getting it welded by a shop. Teach myself how to do that, get it okay. You know, I know it's not going to be great. I don't have the money for a perfect restoration. So I thought, you know, I'll spend the money where it counts, which is the paint. It's probably going to be painted white, which is a reference to my granddad's Beetle, which is how I got into Volkswagens in the first place. I never met my granddad. He died 20 years before I was born, but I grew up with stories of his Beetle. And with that, there's some things that I'd like to do, which is I want to go to some of the nostalgic drag racing events that we have here in the UK, in like Santa Pod, Shakespeare Dragway, that kind of stuff, and hang out with the guys from like the Gasser Circus, Dragstalgia, like people on Instagram like Raceway Hussy, the Deadbeat 100, like those kind of things, is really go and hang out with those guys and have a look at the scene, which is what the plan is. That's my plan. So we're gonna have a look at doing some bits and pieces like that. We're still going to keep doing like the little videos and stuff like that of the small jobs. Like I've got a load of like steering and suspension parts that I need to do on the Beetle on Wendy, which I'm waiting for. They're on back order from Machine 7, which is cool. You know, I get it. You know, COVID, Brexit, all that kind of stuff all plays its part. But yeah, once that's all done, then it's going to be a couple of other things as well, because I've got to take the fuel tank out to do it, and the fuel filler tube leaks like a sieve. Like I'm pretty sure the Titanic is better at holding a liquid than that filler, so I'm going to redo that, which is easy. You can get kids to do that. So yeah, that's one of the things I want to do as well. And as you saw, so in one of the last videos, there was the T-bar install, which I love. I love my T-bars now. I don't know how I did without them. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea. There's no plans in the works for, you know, like a big 2332 with like twin Weber 48 IDAs or anything. I'm just going to keep it as a standard 1300 twin port. It does the job. But yeah, it's, you know, there's other bits and pieces or other places that I'd like to take it. You know, maybe this year, maybe not, maybe next year, depending on what the world looks like. I'd like to take it up to Scotland and maybe perhaps make a longer film or a series of films about that, which is one of the plans that I have. I'm investing, hopefully, well, putting together some new video kit, which will be quite cool. I need to sort of get to grips with it first before I really shoot anything with it. But that's one of the things that's going to be happening, and as well as in terms of the writing side of what I do, which is the blog on Instagram, and on Facebook as well. Check it out, facebook.com/Caster and Camber, and Twitter as well, same name. I found I was falling out of love quicker and quicker with modern stuff. I just couldn't keep up with things, and it all kind of came to a straw. I saw one sort of automotive outlet put out a thing, and it was sort of, oh, the new BMW iX has got 600 horsepower, are you interested now? So it's like, well, just because something has a load of power doesn't make it interesting. You know, it doesn't. Just because a car has a novelty like being able to change colour at the touch of a button doesn't interest me. The idea of a car having a character or a soul, that interests me like a lot. I think that's a very interesting sort of proposition, and there are car companies out there who, you know, we're coming towards the electrification of our automotive lives, or if not, you know, the sort of a new way of doing things, and people are looking into lightweight electric enthusiast cars, which are, you know, are playful and dynamic, and they have interesting interesting characteristics that allow you to have some form of relationship with the car, that it's more than sort of like, I don't know. I've driven a couple of cars driven by the guy who's like the real life Bond villain. Not gonna name names. And to me, they're kind of like a toaster. They're not very interesting. I don't get on with them. I kind of feel like they're sort of like my iPhone. They're just soulless. Not very like, when the most interesting thing that you can do with it completely voids its warranty, it's no, sorry. And if it costs $100,000, it's not going to be that fun. You're going to do it once and you go, oh, I need to get, oh wait, I can't. So yeah, I think the hydrogen thing is going to be interesting, but that's still a way away for the infrastructure on that one. But anyway, I digress, because that's what I do, I ramble. Yeah, so I've kind of set myself a rule for the next few months, which is to write about things that I actually find interesting. So my idea of fun cars kind of stops at like 2010. So it's going to be kind of some older stuff, but still quite modern. And sort of having a look into more deep dives, more, you know, more stories from the automotive world. You know, which is always fun, is having a look into things like that, to sort of find a new way of going about it. It's like I'm massively influenced by Brian Loans with the Dorkomotive podcast. I've listened to every single one of those. Pass Gas by Donut Media, that kind of thing I find really interesting. So I want to kind of bring some of those things to the table with it, and even stuff with like the intercooler with two of my heroes, Dan Prosser and Andrew Frankel. Is just, you know, it's so cool. And sort of going into things is having a look at how we make some of our content. Like, I've been a massive fan of Stansworks. You know, now that it's just Mike Burrows, but all the way back to when it was Mike Burrows and Andrew Ritter. Really enjoyed it. I've also been massive fans of the Hoonigans since it started, and that kind of things, and really kind of trying to take inspiration from stuff like that. So that's the plan for what we're going to do. That might change later on in the year depending on what the state of play is for everything, but yeah, we will let you know if anything changes. But until then, remember, just sort of enjoy it all, and just let us know what you think, how you're feeling about it, and leave us a little like and comment and subscribe and stuff. Go to the Instagram page, follow along, Facebook as well, and send us a message. Let us know what you're working on. We want to do more sort of like of our friends builds, of followers builds, that kind of stuff, and really get out there and make a community of things. You know, we're all in this together, and you know, it's nice to know that, you know, you've got friends all over the world, so let's all be friends, let's all chill. But anyway, yeah, so peace, love and death metal.